Testing Ag Performance Solutions. TAPS has been a great resource for growers across Nebraska. I'm Steve White on the Rural Radio Network. Now you can learn about that as you attend Soybean Management Field Days. And Extension Educator Chuck Burr joins us.
I'll be attending the first one at Ravenna and then the last one at the Eastern Nebraska Research Extension and Education Center. Chris Brock will be at the other two locations this year talking about TAPS from 2024 and what we're doing in 2025.
And as we talk about 2024, you've got the ability then to look back and see some of the competition results and maybe what we can learn from that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And I think we're going to try to have a grower or two, one of our participants at each of the locations talking about what they learned through the TAPS program as well. So probably the big thing is the soybean seeding rates don't impact yields as much as we think they do. So we've got producers that put on, 150, 200,000 seeds per acre. And it goes back to all the on-farm research data that we've done over the years shows if you can get 100,000 plants per acre, that's kind of your maximum economic yield.
That's kind of the nice thing about this is because of the way TAPS works, where you make the teams make a lot of different decisions. It creates a lot of different variables, and you can go out and compare that within the same field, and that's really makes for some interesting data, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah, all the different decisions that the participants make, you can take a look at what worked, what didn't. Probably the only thing that would be better than a TAPS would be an on-farm research project in your field, on your farming operation. But this allows you to get to see what other people are trying and what paid off and what didn't.
I think growers have had the opportunity also to try some different practices and then also use some different technology tools. And then maybe they learn something that they bring back to their own place.
Yeah, and to me, what the biggest thing we learned in 2024 was, soybeans were not very profitable last year due to the commodity prices. So we really need to do a lot better job as an industry of cutting costs and not impacting yield. And TAPS is one of those places where you can try different things, try to save some dollars and see if it impacts your yield or not and your bottom line.
And as you look at the results from last year, like you were saying, seeding rate, that's one of those that jumps out at you. Was there anything else? I don't know if it surprised you, but maybe even kind of confirmed some things you had thought, or is there anything else in the data you think might be interesting to growers?
Yeah, we can try a lot of different things with soybean production, from, applying nitrogen late through fertigation or using some micronutrients, fungicides, insecticides. I think that's maybe where we need to look at cutting some dollars, and TAPS, again, is the place for you to do that. Look at the scouting reports on disease and insects pressure, and if there's not that pressure, don't make those applications. And that just goes back to the farming operation back at home. Make sure you have good good information to make those decisions, and not just say, yeah, I'm going to throw a fungicide on there and an insecticide, because you may not need it, and definitely with low commodity prices, it may not pay for itself. So do the research, do the scouting ahead of time, and make good informed decisions.
And if folks have not been familiar with that and want to learn more, as you're saying, attending a Soybean Management Field Day event would be a great chance just to get some exposure, wouldn't it?
It's a great place to come learn about the program. We'll actually tour the plots on Friday at NREC there. So I think we're meeting in the morning, have lunch, and then we'll have a chance to go out and look at the plots. The micronutrients, fungicides, insecticides will be applied by then. You can actually go out in the field, look at the different varieties that were planted, different decisions that have been made, different seeding rates, and see which plot you think looks the best and which one you think is going to win this year.
That's Chuck Burr. Learn more about TAPS when you attend Soybean Management Field Days this August. I'm Steve White on the Rural Radio Network.